and have fun.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and the girls are together. Yay!
Aprylete Day.
It is Aprylette Day. Yes, yes. If it's Thursday, it must be Aprylette Day.
That's right.
And welcome in, Aprylette. How are you?
What's up, girl? I'm
No,
good.
I
I'm
don't know. I don't know.
okay. So I'm good. I'm well, but I will say I need things to slow down.
Okay.
We're 11 days in the year, and I need a moment. Like
Okay.
I need a
Okay.
moment for everything to kind of just slow back down. Like, why are we moving so fast?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then let's just breathe. Let's just
Mhm.
all breathe because
Let's do
it's
that.
it's happening to all of us, and let it out. One more time. And I hope
Mhm.
people at home that are watching this or wherever you are, that you're taking a moment to kind of breathe and relax
Yeah.
and to slow things down, slow your mind down, slow your words down. I was listening to somebody today and I looked at the TV and I was like, what did he say? And it was, I was like, oh my God, I've reached the point where I need closed captioning. It was like, it
Well, the
wasn't
good
like,
thing is you can read that fast. I can't read that fast.
I was like, well, I did have to reverse it, Yolanda, because I was like, I didn't understand a word he said.
Yeah. It's like slow it down.
Yeah, slow it down. Yolanda, how are you?
Great. It's
Good,
good to be me.
That's
good,
right.
Yep.
good. You've
You
had a
know, go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
So, Aprylette, I subscribe to the app Calm, and the message, they do these motivation messages. So the message
So
yesterday,
is it like a yogi's jewel? Did they
it's like
rip
a
you
yogi's
off?
jewel. It
Okay,
is. It
okay.
is like I'm not saying they ripped me off, but it's a yogi's jewel. But it was about rest.
Mm.
And
Mm,
so it was about that the new year brings about a lot of change and it's starting, and it's a lot of pressure to start and get things going, that it could sometimes be too much and wear you out. But
Yeah.
with all that you have to do, it is more important to rest so you can do those things.
Yeah.
And so you're right on target with that
Man.
thought process, because you got a whole lot going on and it's just hard to do a lot
Yeah.
when you're doing a lot.
And
right.
So
honestly, it's a lot going on around me. So I've been more conscious of slowing things down, but it's a lot going on around me. And I will say for this past week, I have been very restless. My
Mm,
mind has been up at night, and I'm very open on sleep aid and things like that I've taken. And at this point, it seems like it's not even working. So at nighttime, it's really, really bad. And so for the past 2 weeks, when we were off on break and things like that, baby, I slept. I slumbered.
I
I had
remember you saying that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a cocoon. But this week, everything around me has just been so loud, so fast. And yeah, I've been super restless this week. So hopefully this weekend maybe I can get some rest. But man.
well, again, just because you slow down, that don't mean, because this week Yogi's Jules Calm Mind
Mm-hmm.
is that if your mind isn't calm, it don't matter how much you slow down,
Yeah.
because you if you lay down and go to sleep, if your mind's not calm, you're not gonna go to sleep.
At all. At all.
So you do meditation. You do meditation apps. You know that sleep meditation to help
No,
you.
I don't, and I probably should, and I have before, but I would say this week I haven't incorporated any like meditation soothing sounds or anything. I've just been trying to work and then just jump right in the bed. So I
Right.
haven't been kind to myself before I get in the bed. Really, as
Right.
I'm talking this out, I'm like, well, girl, you haven't been kind to yourself. Like you need
Right.
to
Like
kind of
you like a nice long bath and you like
and
all of that.
settle into that.
Are you doing? Are you
This week
continuing
I
that?
haven't because it's been kind of
Hectic. Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
going, going. So yeah, I just need a moment to kind of reset. So maybe I'll do that for myself. Thank you,
So
lady.
that is just brought to mind that I need to do that too because we have changed our work schedule.
Hmm.
And I don't have the luxury of a couple of hours when I wake up in the morning to kind of look through the stories and decide, yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so I find myself just, okay, gotta go, gotta find something, let's go. And then, have it and submit it, and then, write the story and da 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 da. And I find by the time I get to noon and when everything's supposed to be due, I'm like, I am really tired.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
am really tired.
beat.
Yeah. And then you continue to process, work on this show, whatever this looks like, and editing the newsletter and all this other kind of stuff, and dealing with other people and stuff. So it's like this has been a week for me too, and so I get it. But Yolanda, you're a good reminder of the process and being gentle on yourself and in those times that you can, and which will enable you when you do have to rush and get through all this crap, then it's okay, and that you will reach a stopping point or a period of relaxation at some point. So
Right.
All that being said.
yeah. So with all that, let's move to the newsletter. The newsletter is the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our newsletter that we put together for you Monday through Friday. Have it in your email box first thing in the morning. It's a free subscription. If you'd like to go to SybilWilkes.com, we'd love to have you, and give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box. And as I said, first thing Monday through Friday morning, or Monday through Friday morning, not first thing necessarily, but we have stories that really appeal to, and sometimes they are really affecting the African American community. And Aprylete is our young mental health and wellness contributor. And Aprylete, you have a story about the introduction of a bill in the state of Virginia that, quite honestly, I'm not sure I understand.
Okay.
So so if you'll just give us, because even with the trying to say here's what the story's about, I was like, I felt like the RCA dog, just like that. So tell us what the bill is and how it came about.
Okay. So again, like you mentioned, this is in the state of Virginia. So there is a lawmaker. She is taking lead in the effort to reform interactions with police officers and people who are experiencing mental crisis. So the bill was introduced by Vivian Watts, and this bill pretty much says we should not charge people in a mental health crisis not to be charged with felony assault on law enforcement if that officer is called to assist in that emergency. And so if I can break this down.
And that's a thing, to charge them?
Yes. And this actually stems from a situation that happened in Virginia. This is a tragic situation, actually. A 37-year-old Black mother. Her name is Natasha McKenna. She had a lot of run-in with the police officers in Virginia, about 4 of them. On the 5th one, that's when she was charged on felony assault on the officer. She was experiencing a mental health crisis. They took her to the jail, and she ended up dying in custody. And they stunned her 4 times. And it was a story happened back in 2015. And so this bill stems from that incident. And if you all are familiar with just a lot of other stories that has happened across the world, when a mentally ill person is going through a crisis or some type of emergency, a lot of people call 911. This is before 988 has, was introduced to us about a year ago. So a lot of people call 911 with untrained officers. If that person is volatile or having a crisis and the officer is not trained on how to deal with that, they could feel threatened, right? And then so that's where the charge of assault can come. And then you have a person in jail that is mentally ill, held longer than normal. Now they're incarcerated with a felony assault charge. They can't get the help that they need. So this lawmaker is trying to, she introduced this bill January 5th for this to be a law, not for a mentally ill person not to be charged with felony assault on an officer.
That goes without saying.
That really does make sense. And I guess that's why I didn't get it, that there was a necessity for this, because it makes sense that they shouldn't be charged with something like this when they're in the middle of a mental crisis.
And they shouldn't be taken to jail. Because I actually,
right.
I have a relationship with someone who who has mental illness problems, and when she is spinning out, she becomes violent,
Mhm.
and they see her, they take her straight to the hospital.
Because
So
she's known now.
I was
right.
just gonna say because she's known, and that's good to have an
Well, I don't
advocate.
even know that it's just because she's known, but because they know. I mean, I
Mm.
don't. Maybe it is because
Maybe
she's
they
known,
recognize.
but why if somebody is having a psychotic episode,
Mhm.
why take them to jail? That
And
is cruel.
and that's why we need trained officers. That's why we need in the
But
police force behavioral
hold
health
on,
officers. Go
hold
ahead.
on. You need to be trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not common sense.
No, not for not for, as you clearly see, not for the common. Common.
Because all common sense ain't
And
common.
common, right?
Yes, and
You're right.
studies really show. I was doing some research, and studies show that in 44 states, so 50 states in the United States, out of 44, there are more mentally ill people incarcerated than in psychiatric hospitals.
Mm.
And that is a real fact.
Oh.
Mentalhealthofamerica.com. And then another fact is a lot of people, more people with schizophrenia and bipolar, are 10 times more likely to be in jail than in a hospital bed. And so,
Really?
yes. And I feel now that it's like election time at this point, if you are not familiar with mental health laws and bills that are being put into place on Mental Health of America, they
Mhm.
have a page, like a legislation page, where they have like the different laws that are being passed or put into place and things like that. So as we are getting into the election season, if you are, if this is important to you, I definitely suggest you go to mentalhealthofamerica.com and look over some of these bills that are being introduced and, get your voting hat on.
Well, the
Because,
cool thing about it is we are talking about mental health more and more.
yeah,
5 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
And so even last night in the debate, the issues that they were talking about, that was one of the issues that they spoke about, as well. The mental health crisis that we have in this
yeah,
country.
in America. And we are leading in mental health crisis. And I mean, like I just said,
But
You mean
we're
in the
leading
world?
in, yeah,
yeah.
we're leading in crisis, but what about the help that's being
Right.
provided? Where do we rank there?
Maybe.
Okay.
Are there any statistics on the help? And I was talking to you, Yolanda, about the more like for me as an advocate, I love the conversations that we're having, but now it's just like now let's the training, the teaching, like now let's get to the nitty gritty, because conversations are one thing, but like you said, Sybil, the help. What are we doing to help now? We can talk about this all day long, but if we're not implementing change, then what are we doing?
Right.
And that's one reason why I push a lot of the mental health, first aid training and all of those things, because it's super important so you can recognize the signs and do something about it.
Right.
Wow.
God bless you, baby.
God bless you. And thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
I
And
appreciate,
Yolanda, you too.
I appreciate y'all.
So that is something that we need to talk about on a regular, and we do when Aprylete is here every week, and you can catch her column, if you will, in the What You Need to Know newsletter every Thursday. Something else we need to talk about. It's not a comfortable conversation either. Along with our Black Health Matters Association, they talk about. Uh, there's been a lot of talk about weight this week and making me a little sensitive, but talk about the love handles and what that
Yeah.
weight in the middle means, and how
What?
it's beyond just having a belly, that there is some danger that comes with this, and the fat that surrounds your organs, and how
Mm,
that can impair the workings of your inner body. And so that's one thing, especially talking to men, but women have to be mindful of that as well. And this one is about weight and talking to
To
your
your
doctor.
doctor. Yeah.
Before you even enter a room with the doctor, they know your weight because somebody has already taken you through,
yeah.
and so you don't have to look, but I got to do my
Right.
job, and all of that. And so weight stigma, which is an individual's social devaluation and denigration due to their excess body weight, leading to negative and discrimination, can ease its way into many daily interactions, including those with one's doctor. Effective doctor patient communication is a central clinical function according to a study in one medical journal. And this includes discussing weight. Discussing weight with your doctor can be uncomfortable, but necessary and avoidable. Now, we have a friend.
Uh-oh. Is it me? That sounds code for Yolanda Starks White. That's hilarious, Sybil.
No, that's hilarious. No, it's not you.
Okay.
But we have a friend who was going through a number of health challenges, and one of them is she's a plus size girl, and the level of disrespect
Right.
that she got from her doctor regarding her weight. Like, she would come in for one thing, and the doctor's like, "You haven't lost any weight yet," or
from the
I remember
doctor.
that. Yeah, I remember that. That was that was so
Yeah.
hurtful.
And it just broke my heart
Yeah.
that you're not doing anything for this woman's self-esteem, mentally or physically. You're not doing anything for her, because once you get in her head and say you're not doing anything for, and what are you doing? You're morbidly obese. And you say that to a person over and over, and they're like, "Well, damn,
like we can't see that."
Right.
Like, I don't know it. Like, I don't live with myself overnight.
Right.
And you're morbidly stupid. So stop saying that. And I really don't like to use those words.
I don't either.
It makes me angry that, that's your professional demeanor. That's how you're going to deal with this.
It's sick. And there are some doctors walking around obese themselves. I mean, do you really
smoking and
let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
So while we're talking to our doctors about our weight, let's talk to our doctors about them too. And also adjust your bedside manner.
Absolutely. But here in America, what I'm noticing, I don't know if the veil has been over my eyes this whole time, but we are leading in a lot of things unhealthy. We're leading in obesity. We're leading in, the mental health crisis that we just spoke about. Now obesity, like everything. Oh Jesus, it's a lot.
It is a lot, Aprylete. It is a lot. And
what do we do?
But we need to talk about it, and we need to be about the business, which I think for all of the things that we talk about, we are also about engagement. We have check-in and check-up for your health.
Yep. Right.
That is an engagement project. We are not only talking about the things that can happen to us as Black women, as Black men, talking about prostate cancer this week with our Secretary of Defense, and getting Black men to talk about that. So we're in the process of engaging people to talk about it. But we also have to have both sides of the equation. We have to have the patient as well as the doctor working in concert to bring about a healthier society. Walking more. I joke that Ward and Yolanda were at home one day, and I went to walk the dogs, and I forgot what great exercise I can get from walking one of their dogs. He's just, you put that leash on him, he's like, he's gone.
Right.
Like, whoa.
Right.
And it is a great form of exercise. Whereas the other one, he's more of an ambler, and he doesn't travel far.
Ambler. So Sybil, big A word. Ambler.
And so, he's just la la la. Okay, lift your leg. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go back to the house. Where this one, he wants to sniff and smell and engage with people and dogs and
take you to and from.
Right.
Each one of them are like their prospective owners.
I love that.
Yeah. But Yolanda is an exerciser, but we get out of the practice, and that's what I wanted to say. We don't. I will drive around their house to a couple of blocks away in a minute. But
you walk. No, so but you walk.
Well, when it's light outside, I don't like to, be, because there's other wild animals and stuff around here. So.
You'll be okay to walk in dark in your neighborhood. You'll be all right.
No. I'm not worried about crime. I'm just worried.
She's worried about the wild animals, like
animals.
the
coyotes. Exactly. They live there too.
Yeah, and they were here before we were.
Well, that's true.
Right, and they'll let you know every chance they get.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we've run out of time on the segment, but I just want you to engage in some of the stories, and also take a look at Cameron Riley's story about a commemorative coin honoring the life and times of Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we can buy these. The $20 bill doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime
Right.
soon.
It's a
But we
little
can.
going
Yeah.
coins.
Right.
Yeah.
But they do have the commemorative coin, and I think I'm going to go ahead and it's a $5 coin, a $1 silver coin, and $50 coins, encapsulating the distinct periods of Harriet Tubman's extraordinary life as an abolitionist and as a social activist. So take a look at those stories and start with Aprylete and work your way through the newsletter, if you will, and all the other great things that we have in there. So thank you, and please. Let's move to the what's really going on question. And I was taken by the number of overturning of jobs this week in the National Football League. A lot of coaches got fired. One man went of his own accord, of his own volition, and that is University of Alabama football coach Nick Saban. Announced that he was leaving. Coach Saban says that it was time for him to go. He's like 72 years old, and he's won 7
Right.
national football championships. He didn't do so well in professional football, but college football, that's his thing. And so,
but he didn't get fired. He's
no,
retiring.
He
okay.
announced his retirement, right?
Yeah,
And,
okay.
and I thought I said it, but maybe in my head I said, with the exception of Nick Saban.
Oh, okay.
And so he cited the mental grind, and I thought about you when you were talking about this, Aprylete, for retirement, and he sees football changing, and he sees the landscape changing with players and the rules and all the things that go into, especially for college football. So I also saw a feature today on television about taking a midlife gap year. You know, we talk about gap years, especially for young people between graduation from high school and their first year of college, right? This is midlife for people in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, taking a year and not necessarily being able to afford to take a year off to you can still work, but also to work on you. Take the time when you have to work on you and whatever changes. Take an assessment of who you are, and where you want to be. And some of us, you know, can afford to take a year off and not work. And while as most of us don't have the luxury of doing that.
Yeah.
And so make these changes both personally, professionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, wherever you are in your life. I'm asking, would you like to take a gap year? Or like Coach Saban, retire altogether? And what would you like to do? Yolanda, I'm going to give you an easy out. You don't have to answer this because I know what your answer is.
I want to know what her answer is.
Okay.
But young Aprylete, you are still in your prime. But would you be, and you have made a career change?
Yeah, I was going to say I already have done it. And at that point, I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I was calling it a sabbatical. And as you guys know, sabbaticals is for teachers. After I get 7 years, they take a sabbatical off. And that was my time where I made the conscious decision and I was being led by the spirit to leave an industry that I was in. And I took time. And it was for about a year until I met the beautiful Yolanda White Starks. Okay. So it was for about a year.
And it's like, come on back in this. Come on back in here, girl.
It was absolutely amazing. So I say yes, because I have been there and it all worked out for the good for sure. But it really takes a person, for me, I would say that is truly faithful to the process. You know, like not taking it and going to be anxious and not taking it and going to, oh my God, like what I'm going to do next. And then, you know, all these things, like you actually, if you're going to take it, you need to breathe, take a break, take a beat. So that's the only reason why I would say, if you would take it for those reasons.
Did you knowingly go into this? Did you have burnout that led you to this, or was there a period where you're like, I just tired. I just need
all
a break.
of that. I think it was a mixture of burnout. Okay, because I was in news, of course. So I think it was a mixture of the burnout, and I had just got to a new city, and it's so wild because top 10 market, number 7. I'm like, okay,
I'm here.
Yes, and it felt good until it didn't. And it was literally like 7 months in, I say, oh no, I'm tired. And like I said, it was spirit led, but yeah, burnout was half of it, half of the reason why. And then everything else just kind of led that way.
So one of the things that I liked, and Yolanda, I'm going to give you a chance to talk if you're ready to talk, if you want to tell us what you would do.
No, you go first.
Okay. When we first started working for Tom Joyner, and we worked for a company that allowed for a sabbatical after 10 years. And I love that idea. I could never imagine.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
They allowed you to take a sabbatical after 10 years working for the company.
Oh.
And I remember someone did that. And I thought that was the greatest thing, because it just, but here's the other part of it. Being in radio, you don't work for any company for 10 years. Right. You know, so it's really the likelihood of your getting to that point was very slim, right?
Right. Maybe industry wise, but company, yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah. So and as it turned out, I didn't leave the show, but the company that we worked for was sold to another company, and then to another company, and then Tom took over the show. He and David Cantor were owners of the show, and then they had a collaboration with Urban One and Radio One. So we kind of got lost with that whole sabbatical thing. That just kind of fell by the wayside. But I like that idea, and I think that there are especially people in certain areas of business, like I think in the business of news, it really is incumbent upon us, because I know that it has a detrimental effect on me, which is why, you know, at the end of the day, I can go to my Hallmark movies, and that kind of lightens the load for me.
Yeah.
Or, you know, instead of listening to radio at night, as Yolanda has, you know, talked about, either for me, rain and thunderstorms, that app really works for me.
Well, I remember when news, you used to sleep to news.
I used to be able to fall asleep to it, and now it's disturbing, because I'll wake up and I'll hear something, and I'm like, oh, and then I, you know, remember to go to my app. Yeah,
because you definitely don't need to be falling asleep to news. And one thing, when I did leave the industry, I wanted to do something with my hands. I said, I need to shut off my brain. I rather, if I'm working, to do something with my hands. I was okay with going to Amazon or going to McDonald's, just using my hands and not having to overthink about any task that I was doing. That was something that I really, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was something in my mind. I was like, I don't want to use my brain right now. I just need a moment where I could just use my hands and do, and that's it.
Yeah. And I was thinking about what I would do, and a friend gave me a housewarming gift the other day, and it was the loveliest thing, and one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever received. I told her this. I like to take photographs, and especially flowers. And so, like on Mother's Day, I will send you a card of you know, email you a card with a picture of the flower that I've taken. And she took that picture that I sent her for Mother's Day, and she had it made into a tile, as well as coasters for your drinks. And it just reminded me, I've gotten away from that. So I don't need to take time off. I just need to make the time to get back to taking pictures. Like I, you know, taking pictures of Sweet Baby True, or taking pictures of the dogs. Like last night I was taking pictures of Ramsey and sending them to Yolanda. But it's, you know, just getting back into that. And I got really great equipment. It's not just this. I mean, it's really expensive.
So book your photo shoot with Sybil.
Right. For your dogs and your children. That's all. I don't want to do anything else. And your gardens. But I just really like it. And so that's what I would do. Yolanda. And I hope that people are responding and telling us what they would like to do.
So I have 3. The first thing is, you can't take a sabbatical from your family. And family stresses me out. But family stressed me out, and I'm being sincere. Family stressed me out more than anything else, more than the news, more than work or whatever. You can't take a sabbatical from that. That's number 1. Number 2, you know, I'm the contrarian, but I think that's white folk taking a sabbatical, because who could do that? Who could take a sabbatical? What? That's white folk stuff.
Our Aprylete did it.
Well, Aprylete doesn't have any responsibility.
No, she
but a
does
lot of
have
people.
Aprylete does have responsibility. I don't have I have Gucci, and come on now, like
you and Gucci. I'm not minimizing Gucci.
Okay.
But it's different than when you have to.
Like a family,
your family, 100%, 100%, 100%.
But she's also very smart, and she saved her money in order to do that.
Right,
did.
Right.
I wouldn't have probably made the decision, so it wouldn't have been as easy. I would have still did it because it was spirit led, but it wouldn't have been as easy if I did not have funds saved up for a rainy day or for a time like that. So it did make it easy to have the funds. But like I said, still I would have did it, but I wanted to do something without using my brain. I just wanted to use my hand. I would have still worked, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing that same type of work because I was taking a sabbatical from that. But go ahead.
But most importantly, Sybil, seriously, I don't ever need a sabbatical because I live my life from day to day and I balance out my life. So those things that stress me, I counter it with things that I want to do because I don't want to put off living my life for when I can take a break. Mm-hmm. I'm going to live my life today, every day, and try to live it to its fullest. And some days, are more stressful than others, but I try to balance. I think another way.
Wow, do you know the light in your room just got brighter? No, it really did.
It'll go back down.
Light into us. I love it.
I really think that in another way of looking at it, if you would consider, instead of taking a sabbatical, that every day you live intentional in doing something for yourself, whatever that sabbatical would be, taking pictures or being, with your loved one or taking a walk or whatever you would do with a sabbatical, try to incorporate it into your daily life so you won't have to put it off and build up to a year. Because what happens if you never make it to that year? Then you'll never get that you're searching for.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Hold on. Let me drop the mic.
It's the humble check for me. I love it.
Might never make that year. Huh?
No, Sybil, I'm right. Don't do me like that. I'm right about that.
You are, right, but you're also. I mean, it's kind of fatalist talking.
It is not. That's why you can't wait. No, don't wait. Do it now.
Okay.
All right. So incorporate all of the things that you would do on your gap year, on your sabbatical throughout every day.
Or as much as you can.
Yeah.
I think
working my way through the vineyards of Italy, I could do that every day.
Well, what you could do is you could have a glass of wine every day.
Dr.
Oz said a glass of wine every day does you good.
Yeah, Dr. Oz also was.
Okay. Well, okay, maybe not Dr. Oz. Okay, you remember when we used to always say Dr. Oz until we found out he's political.
What a quack!
So now he's a quack.
He's a quack. He's definitely a quack.
But anyway.
I get it. Yeah. Do we have any responses?
Oh, everybody is just really celebrating me.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. Read that.
Yeah. on YouTube says, yes, Yolanda, the ones we love are challenging and continual teaching, learning experience in patience. Yes.
Oh, wow. I hadn't even read that. I just put that on there. Funny.
Because you saw your name. That's Clothing on YouTube says, start now. Absolutely. And that's exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Janice Eatman on Facebook says a friend recommended the book, The Power of Now.
Beautiful book.
A group of us at a community meeting today. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
That's a really good book.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. And it's not like an entire read. It's something that you go back continuously and it's reminders. It's to be in the now. It's so good. It's so good.
You would recommend that than my buying Liz Cheney's book about politics and dealing with Donald Trump and the Republicans, huh? Okay. Okay. The power of now. Let me make a note.
There you go. Sybil Book Club.
Is that with Eckhart Tolbert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's good.
And Yolanda, this is really good because we're coming up on your birthday. We're celebrating your birthday month, so this is good that they're lauding you and applauding you for.
Oh,
for
girl,
your
ain't nobody saying nothing about me. I just said that because I celebrate me.
Oh, okay. You're all you need.
Yeah, really.
All right, so let's move on to trending. And Aprylete, are you a soror?
I am not, but if I were, I would have been a Delta.
Oh.
Well, happy Founders Day to the Delta. Yeah, absolutely.
Happy Founders Day.
Happy Founders Day to all the wonderful women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Winter storm warning issued for much of Chicagoland with several inches of snow expected to move in by early Friday morning. They are saying that it is going to be a bit of a headache depending on where you live in and around the city of Chicago. But check this out: tornadoes in Florida. They're talking about this on the National Weather Service and Bay County. And I'm not sure where Bay County is in Florida. If anyone knows, let us know. But this is tornadoes. We know hurricanes.
So we're looking for one to hit or one has
hit. Did hit, and it is the environment is ripe for more to come.
Oh.
And so I'm going to check that out and try to get more information for folks. Here is, and I had that story, I thought, but I will find it again. But it's dangerous because, you have a lot of places, a lot of buildings and what have you that are not as secure, and tornadoes can be quite dangerous. And even for people who live in mobile homes and things like that, it can be quite dangerous as well.
Right.
Check this out. This is the craziest story, and I remember reading about this like years ago, and it's not finally come to a judgment and a settlement of sort, but definitely a judgment. The online company eBay, and I buy stuff from eBay, not so much as I do Amazon, but definitely they've been ordered to pay a $3 million federal fine. This was part of an effort to resolve criminal charges over harassment of a couple. They didn't like the things they said about the company.
$3 million?
$3 million they have to pay for harassing. The harassment campaign, they called it, was waged by employees who sent live spiders, cockroaches, and other disturbing items to the home of a Massachusetts couple.
Wait. The employees at eBay did this?
Yeah.
Because the couple did something about eBay.
At the agreement of people who are higher level management.
Wow.
eBay.
Oh, wow.
This is a couple, their name is Steiner, and they had a newspaper. They were the newspaper's publisher and editor, and they would talk about some of their grievances with eBay. And it got under the skin of the eBay people. And so they turned around and they decided they were going to make their lives a living hell. Cyber stalking and upsetting deliveries of anonymously sent packages, they said, upended their lives. Ina Steiner received harassing and sometimes threatening Twitter messages, as well as dozens of strange emails from groups. This is really cruel. Groups like an irritable bowel syndrome patient support group and the Communist Party of the United States, along with a box of live spiders and cockroaches. The couple had a funeral wreath, a bloody pig mask, and a book about surviving the loss of a spouse show up at their door. So that was kind of a threat there about their families.
Amazon would never. eBay better get it together.
Yeah.
What?
Their home address was also posted online with announcements inviting strangers to yard sales and parties. It started in 2019 after the woman wrote a story about a lawsuit brought by eBay that accused Amazon of poaching its sellers. A half hour later, after the article was published, eBay's then CEO, Devin Wenig, sent another top executive a message saying, if you are ever going to take her down, Now is the time. He put it in an email. The executive sent that message to James Bow, who was eBay's senior director of safety and security, called Ina Steiner she called her a biased troll who needs to get burned down.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when it all just kind of spiraled
So
out.
where you find these stories?
That's why I don't sleep.
Good night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
So this is, $3 million doesn't even seem fair to the hell that they put these people through for the last, 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. For this, the live box of spiders and
cockroaches alone, and a bloody pig mask.
That's
and then putting your address online and telling people come on by for a party, or
And cyberbullying is a crime.
Yeah.
So they can identify the employees that
apparently there's an email trail that like the security guy says there's ever to take her down, and then the security guy got his people on it and they started sending these things. Allegedly, but it is enough for a $3 million judgment to be made against.
And I hope they get all their money too.
Closing arguments in Donald Trump's $370 million civil fraud trial took place today. And even though the judge, Arthur Engoron, denied Trump's request to deliver his own closing argument, the former president took it upon himself at some point to just kind of rail in the courtroom, calling out the person in the room right now who hates Trump. And that was a reference to the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, who brought the case. She's described as a person who helped spearhead the high-profile case against his business, the Trump Organization. Engoron ruled in September the former president had fraudulently inflated his financial statements and would lose his New York business certificates, a decision Trump called the corporate death penalty. An appeals court has put the business certificates order on hold. The Attorney General wants Trump on the hook for nearly all of the proposed $370 million. Although two of his sons, the adults, Eric and Don Jr., two former business executives and several entities could also face potential liability. Now, if the Attorney General gets everything, and this is what the segment of this case is about, is determining the penalty. If she gets everything she's asked for, Trump will face a lifetime ban on doing business in the state of New York.
Wow.
Running a business and participating in the New York real estate industry.
Wow.
So it's coming to an end for that.
So Sybil, and trending, can I ask you a question about something that I don't know what's going on? Can you tell me what's going on with the Hunter Biden? Why was it a big deal that he showed up at whatever?
Because he's done this. This is the second time he's done it, but he went into the committee room today. Before they did it, and he had a speech outside. They have subpoenaed him to a deposition behind closed doors, and he said, "If you want to depose me, you need to open this up so everybody can hear the questions that are being asked and how you respond."
Right.
So they showed up today. They went inside the committee room and they're like, "Nope, you're not supposed to be here. We told you."
So why wasn't he supposed? That's what I don't understand. Why wasn't he supposed to?
They had not scheduled a day for him to come in, and definitely not a day in which all the cameras were on them and could show all the cracks in the Republican House committee and the way that they do business. So you did get to see some really immature behavior on the part of the majority party in this committee, headed by James Comer, who is he's not the brightest bulb in the lamp.
Okay.
Just put it that way. And then some real ugliness, like Nancy Mace, who is a congresswoman from South Carolina. She went off on Hunter Biden and saying he doesn't have the balls to do. And people were like, "Can you say that?
Wow.
If you're a U.S. congresswoman and you're using that kind of language about the president's son?" And she was just really graphic and just crass.
But so tell
So
me,
hang
do
on a
we?
second. So Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to enter some pictures, some photographs into the House record, and they said, okay, as long as it's not pornographic. Well, they were naked pictures of Hunter Biden that they wanted. It's like, what's your definition of pornographic? If that's not it. And so one of the congressmen from Florida said, okay, we'll agree to this if you will also put into the record this person and this person and this person, including the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and the head of the Judiciary Committee in the House, Jim Jordan of Ohio, and this person, and that they all ignored subpoenas to come and speak before the House committee.
Oh, wow.
And needless to say, they did not go forward with that piece of work that they wanted done.
Okay, this is a lot for me.
This is
are we mad at Hunter or not?
It's kind of, it's not, I'm not mad at him. It's kind of funny that, he's putting them, making them really put a bright light on the foolishness that they're doing too.
Okay.
Hunter has to answer for some of these things.
Okay.
But to go after him in order to get to his father is not fair.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
And so, we've seen how they've gone after people. What? TYO Dimples on YouTube says, why does Marjorie Taylor Greene have those pictures?
All right. Why?
Well, she probably, she's single. So I don't know.
You silly.
But somebody got them to her. And it was probably, the pictures were probably taken when he was an addict, and somebody was taking advantage of him. Quite honestly, because he
had
an addiction
Okay.
So this is the case that they're building against him, and they're using these photographs and all of the other things that they can finally get against him. And so it kind of culminated a couple of weeks ago when he showed up, and he did not go into the Capitol, to the House building, but he did go in today. Where they go from here, I don't know.
We got a lot of comments about that. Let me just...
Janice Eatman said, one Democratic Congress read into the record yesterday names of every Republican official who refused to appear. It was wonderful. There were at least 7 names. That's what I was referring to. There's a congressman from Florida, Michelle Lynn Sumrall. I'm glad he's fighting back, she says on Facebook. He has to take his own consequences. He does, and he's willing to take responsibility for it, but not to bring his father down.
Right.
Especially that's what they're doing.
So is he hurting his father by fighting back like this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I meant by when I said,
no, he's not doing damage to his dad.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And he would never knowingly do that to his father.
Okay.
And he does have lawyers who would probably tell him this isn't a good idea.
Okay. And I don't know what she's talking about.
Manuel Murphy on Facebook says the Department of Justice better not act on a contempt of court charges after what the GOP pulled from the 1/6 commission. That's what we're talking about. All of these people who were called before the January 6th commission, and they refuse to appear. They are members of Congress, and they refuse to appear.
They need to appear. Like they should.
Right. Now I understand. Yeah. Okay.
So they're breaking the law the way Donald Trump is trying to get away with breaking the law.
Now I understand.
As someone who led the insurrection.
Okay.
And so they are members. They're breaking the Constitution.
Okay.
They're breaking the Constitution, quite simply.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
So
Thank you, Sybil.
Sure. That was my last story. I was going to end, but I'm glad you.
You were going to talk about that? Okay, so I know what's trending. Aprylete, be impressed. Wouldn't it be great if that were true?
It's true. So y'all know who Jelly Roll is, right?
Yeah.
He's the rapper and the country singer. He was on Capitol Hill today. He gave testimony about his own experiences in dealing with fentanyl. Going over his own history as a drug dealer, and talking about how he never saw it as a drug dealer, and having to account for the lives that were lost. And he said that he wanted to explain this, going over it and detailing how he came out on the other side. He said he was part of the drug problem in America, that is hoping to be a part of the solution. taking a powerful stance against fentanyl. He says his troubled past actually makes him the perfect person to throw his support behind the anti-fentanyl legislation that's being discussed, listing heartbreaking examples of how his life's been personally affected by the spiraling problem of people's addiction to fentanyl.
Yeah.
Explained he's attended more funerals for loved ones than he cares to share, featuring one day he'll have to explain to his daughter about how her mother was taken by fentanyl.
Oh.
He's had 40 prison stints before the age of 22, saying he thought dealing drugs was a victimless crime and never thought America's drug epidemic would spiral from crack to opioids and OxyContin and now fentanyl. He's acknowledging how deadly fentanyl is and how, as he said, he wants to be a part of the solution since he was a part of the problem. It was really nice. Yeah. So let's move to entertainment. And this really struck me. This is how I woke up this morning to this story. And do you remember a few months ago, Michael Strahan was away from his two high-profile jobs? He is a co-host of Good Morning America. He's also one of the co-hosts on NFL programming on Fox. And he was away from both of his workspaces. And so he said, everybody's like, where is he? What's he doing? And it's like, he's taking care of some personal business. Well, we want to know. And it's like, it's none of your damn business. If it's personal business, it's personal. Now it turns out, and he and his daughter appeared on Good Morning America today to reveal that she has been diagnosed with a brain tumor. She's 19 years old.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry.
He said that he has twin daughters, and one of them is Isabella, and she was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, and talking about it with Robin Roberts. And she said it started maybe around the 1st of October. She said, I didn't notice anything was off. And then I definitely noticed headaches, nausea, couldn't walk straight. Eventually, she said she began dread waking up because she was throwing up. Her twin, Sophia, encouraged her to seek treatment, and she received her diagnosis in October following an MRI. And one day before her 19th birthday, she underwent surgery to remove the golf ball-sized tumor. And she was on the West Coast where she has just started college at the University of Southern California.
Wow.
And her father, of course, GMA and wanting to take care of his baby girl.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. When they're ready to tell you, they will.
Right.
And if she can help someone, I'm sure that's what they're thinking. You don't think about
that's what Lord Austin tried to tell y'all earlier in the week.
But you're absolutely right. But his situation is different. He's he's the head soldier of all the country. Right?
I'm just saying.
It was people were taking to social media. What's going on? Why aren't you talking about it? What are you doing? And it's like, it's none of your damn business.
So Sybil, is that fatal? I mean,
well, it's cancerous, and so
they removed the cancer.
They removed the cancerous, and so she will undergo treatment. And you could see that she shaved her head, and
so with treatment she will survive.
We're hoping, we're praying.
Praise God. Yeah. Praise God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so important too to listen to your body.
Right.
When you just said like the headaches and things like that, like when you feel anything that is slightly different than the normal,
right?
Go get checked up. Go get checked out.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And thank God her sister, and she listened to her sister,
Yeah.
So, and so, and 19 years old, it's just, but God bless them. And, and here's to a full and complete recovery.
Yes.
And wishing that to them. I'm going to close out with Yogi's Jewel. Are you ready for this, Yolanda?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this week we've been concentrating on a calm mind. And so today's Yogi's Jewel is a calm mind helps you to achieve inner peace.
So, Aprylete, be calm.
Yeah.
So be calm. So be calm. Yep.
It's been another great, interesting, fun, and endearing show. I appreciate both of you for participating today.
I liked it.
I'm glad, and we're glad, and we wish Godspeed to your families as well, Yolanda.
Thank you.
And Aprylete, go out there and be good to yourself, okay?
I definitely would try.
Go do some of that sabbatical stuff.
Every day I'm gonna try to, for sure. And I want to shout out my family for watching on YouTube today.
Oh, nice. Hey, family.
Hey,
How's
family.
Hello.
As Sherry Shepherd say,
Hey, family.
Yes, STL, baby.
and save me some grandma's barbecue.
There we go.
We love your girl. We absolutely love Aprylete. So thank you for sharing her.
Love y'all.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good
thank
to
you.
yourself.
Be safe. Bye-bye.